Hi, I'm Laura Mize, pediatric speech-language pathologist, and welcome to teachmetotalk.com's Therapy Tip of the Week. For the last several weeks, I've been talking with you about new ideas for using blocks. Today, we're continuing that series, and this would be in the oldie but goodie category. This is one of my all-time favorites, one of my go-to activities with nearly every child that I see. And I'll be able to explain all the different ways that I use these fun blocks as we go. These are Tupperware blocks, and they're about 100 years old. Not really, but they have been around a long time. You won't be able to buy them in stores, even if you have one of those malls that still has a Tupperware store, but you'll probably be able to find them in consignment stores or on a site like eBay, so be sure to check them out. The best part about these little blocks is that they open and close, and you can hide tiny objects inside. I've had such good luck with these blocks, even for kids who don't normally like to play with toys. I have had such good luck with this toy that I've even been able to use it for PECS, the beginning phases of PECS, the Picture Exchange Communication System. Now, if you're a speech pathologist, you know that that approach, especially in the beginning, is dependent on choosing materials that a child loves. And that's what a hit these little blocks have been, because I've been able to incorporate it with PECS a lot. All right. For most other kids who aren't at that level, who are beyond that, who are playing, who are already interacting with you, and who already understand how fun that can be, let's move on and talk about all the ways that we can use blocks even with kids like that. Now, I always begin this activity by having all of the blocks inside this plastic bag. And if you've watched any of my DVDs or heard me speak in any of my courses, you know why. I like to give kids a reason to ask me for things, or a reason to understand I have to do something to get something. So here we may begin requesting with a sign like more or like please. And don't feel like you can't use those really general signs to get started with toddlers. Some experts recommend using really specific signs, but I don't agree with that. I've written a post about that you'll see linked here at the bottom of this Therapy Tip of the Week video. And I hope that I can make you more comfortable with sticking to signs like more and please, especially for those earliest requesting opportunities. If a kid is beyond signing, or if I think that they're even sort of able to do it, I also start by just going for the word, which is going to be imitating the word for a block. And again, don't get too picky about articulation here. Even if a kid says ba or buh or whatever he can give me, that's okay. That's what I'm going to accept at this level. I also love these blocks for teaching a child how to consistently ask for assistance. That is such an important skill for our little guys who are late talkers. These are great because kids are going to usually need your help to get the blocks open and closed. It's just tricky enough that they'll want to keep trying even if they can't do it. But it sets up an opportunity for you to put your hand out and say, you know, I will help you. Let's get some help. You also may be able to target early signs like open. And certainly open is such a functional sign. Kids can use it all day long for lots of things that they need help with their moms. Now, if a kid doesn't imitate a sign like help or open on his own, what should you do? You should help him. Use what therapists call hand-over-hand assistance. Take your hands, put them on his hands, and help him get that little sign going. Another thing I like to do with these little blocks is do something funny with the object after the child has opened the blocks. And again, this kind of keeps him with you. A trick that never fails is taking one of these little animals or objects and hiding them in a child's pants. So just the edge of his pants down there by his feet or by his little shoes if he's wearing shoes. And then you might try to call the toy. If I were hiding the bear, I would hide it and I would say, where'd he go? Let's call him. Bear, bear, bear. And then I would reach in and pull the bear out and say, boo! That is a no-fail game that toddlers just love. And you can do it over and over. You can really teach a child, that gestural imitation piece, even if he's not saying anything yet, when he starts to hold his little hands up by his mouth and try to imitate calling whatever you've modeled for him, whatever you've hidden in his little pants. So super, super fun little game. Another cute thing I do is, and this might be after we have taken everything out of the blocks, after we've requested, after we've talked about a lot of different things, is lining the blocks up and then having the child put the objects in the blocks like they're all going to go to sleep or go to bed or go night-night, whatever your word is that you use for that. And even if a kid's not talking yet, you can certainly try to elicit things like patting the animals or saying, shh, as you're telling them night-night. And those are really, really fun routines and really easier attempts, easier things to get your little friends to imitate rather than going for the words. So go for those actions and those fun little play words first. Now, I've also used these blocks to practice waving bye-bye or saying bye-bye. And it works really well because after you've lined them up and you have everyone going to sleep right here, you know, or you're about to clean them up and put them all in your bag, you can really say, you know, bye-bye, cat. You tell cat bye-bye. You say it. So you can certainly try to elicit the word there or get the wave. And again, I've had, I cannot tell you how many successes just with this one toy alone with doing that. You can also vary your items that you include to target different goals. So say you start out with one set of items with a child, and after 3 or 4 weeks, change your items. Or after a child moves along, say it's been a couple of months, and you want to bring these blocks back out again, you can always vary what you put inside so that you can work on a different goal. You certainly can target new vocabulary. And again, that would be receptively what a child understands, as well as expressively what he says. I have little sets that I use that I can target really functional or familiar words with things like bowl or ball. I certainly have other kinds of higher level things that we're going to talk about in just a minute. The best way to do receptive practice with this, after you've named them all and after you've taught the child the words, is to really tell him what you're going to clean up. And again, cleanup time is a perfect time to work on receptive language. So you might have 3 or 4 of your items right here, and you would say to a child, ooh, this block is for the car, get the car. And the child's goal here is to get what you've said and put it inside, and then you put that one away. Kids like that visual anticipation that the activity is about to be over too, so it's a nice way to use that. I have other sets of items for even higher level goals when kids are, say, targeting multisyllabic words like ice cream cone or choo-choo train or hairbrush. So you can certainly think about those things. Recently, I've altered my little sets to include working on plurals. So I have some pigs and some cars and some cats. So I'm really teaching and listening for that final S. As I was preparing this activity today, I remembered a little girl that I used this activity with every time we had 2 of something. She was at the phrase level, so when she opened the block and it opened, let's pretend there are 2 cats there, I would grab one cat and say, my cat. And it almost always facilitated her grabbing the other cat and saying, my cat. And so it's a super, super way to target lots and lots and lots of different goals. Now, of course, you could stack these blocks. You could build with them. You could do the things that we've talked about in the earlier videos in this series, but isn't this more fun? I just love it. I just love it. And I hope that I've given you some new creative ways to think about how you might recycle some of your older toys to work on a full range of goals. Now, if you need more ideas for playing with kids in this way, and again, getting really more creative with familiar toys that almost every family has, let me direct you to my book, Teach Me to Play with You. You'll be able to find great ideas just like the ones that we talked about here today, and certainly those ideas you can use on the fly when you're in a family's home and need to sit and think, what can I do with this? You'll also have great information to share with those parents as well. That's all for today. I'm Laura Mize, pediatric speech language pathologist, and thanks so much for watching teachmetotalk.com's Therapy Tip of the Week.